My cousin didn't even look up from her phone when I said the words. The living room smelled faintly of burnt popcorn and that cheap lavender spray she used to hide the fact she never opened a window. The TV flickered with soft blue light, throwing shadows that made the whole room feel colder than it was. I pressed my hand to my chest, right over the tightening, hot pulling sensation that made my breath come out thin. Claire, my chest hurts. It's really bad. She sighed loudly as if I'd interrupted something truly important. You're overreacting. You always overreact. The words fell with the same easy cruelty she'd used since childhood. She scrolled through her phone, nails tapping the glass, not even bothering to lift her eyes toward me. I think I need help, I whispered. Then help yourself. Her voice was sharp, bored. I'm not calling 911 for your anxiety attack. It's not anxiety, I said, but the sentence dissolved halfway through. A stabbing pain shot through the left side of my ribs, radiating upward like something had reached inside and squeezed. I gripped the edge of the couch, vision blurring slightly. Please. I can't breathe right. She finally turned her face toward me, annoyed, not concerned. You're fine, she insisted. If you were actually having a heart attack, you wouldn't be talking. So stop being dramatic and sit down. Her words hit harder than the pain did. A memory rose, soft, uninvited. Me at 12, curled on the bathroom floor, clutching my stomach, pale and sweating. Clara laughing from the doorway. You act like you're dying over nothing. My mother agreeing, she just likes the attention. Sometimes trauma doesn't whisper, it repeats. Back in the present, I tried to inhale again. My chest seized. The room tilted. A metallic taste spread across my tongue. I need to go to a hospital. Clara rolled her eyes. Then drive yourself. I can't. My voice cracked. I can't even stand. Her expression hardened, not with worry but irritation. If you collapse, I'll drag you to your bed. That's the best I can do. I'm not ruining my night. I stared at her, a cold wave of realization washing over me. She didn't care if I lived. She didn't care if I died. She just didn't want to be inconvenienced. My breaths came shorter, faster. My heartbeat thudded unevenly, skipping, stuttering, clawing at my ribs. My hands trembled. My cousin looked directly at my fear and felt nothing. You're not calling anyone, she added sharply. Not tonight. But I already had my phone half hidden beneath the blanket. My fingers shook as I typed the number I remembered by heart. The only person who ever believed me when I said something hurt. Dr. Hale. He picked up on the first ring. Lena. His voice sharpened immediately. What's happening? I have chest pain, I gasped. Left side. Radiating. Shortness of breath. I can't. Where are you? He cut in. At Clara's. She won't call 911. Her head whipped toward me. Her eyes widened, not with guilt but anger. You didn't. I ignored her. The doctor's tone shifted, calm, urgent, controlled. Put me on speaker. I did. Dr. Hale's voice filled the room with authority Clara couldn't hide from. Clara, he said, if she is reporting chest pain with radiating symptoms and difficulty breathing, this is potentially life-threatening. You need to call 911 now. Clara laughed under her breath. She's lying. You don't know her like I do. I know her medical history, he replied sharply. And I know untreated cardiac symptoms can kill someone. My cousin froze. Her jaw tightened. Something flickered behind her eyes, fear wrapped in denial. No, she snapped. She's always like this. This is nothing. It is not nothing, he said. And if you refuse to seek care, you are legally endangering her. Silence. Even the TV seemed to quiet. Clara swallowed hard. But then in a quieter voice, almost petulant. I'm not calling. My chest tightened again, sharp as a blade. I whispered, please. She looked at me, really looked at me for the first time that night. But the softness didn't come. Just calculation. Just hesitation. Then she stood abruptly. Fine. Do what you want. She grabbed her keys and stormed out, letting the door slam behind her. For a moment I was alone, barely breathing, hunched over, tears sliding down my cheeks. Lena. Dr. Hale's voice came gently. Ambulance is already on the way. Stay on the line. Slow breaths. You're not alone. His steadiness cracked something inside me, something brittle I'd held together for too long. I pressed my hand harder to my chest, counting breaths like he instructed. The room dimmed around the edges. My heartbeat felt like it was skipping steps, collapsing inward. Think of something steady, he said softly. Something safe. A memory surfaced. Me at 15 crying in the school hallway after fainting in gym class. Clara told everyone I did it for attention. My mother rolled her eyes. But Dr. Hale had knelt beside me, his voice soft but unwavering. You're not dramatic, Lena. You're in pain. And pain deserves real care. Back in the present, my breathing hitched again. The front door burst open. Paramedics rushing in, voices clear and direct, equipment rattling. The scent of cold night air swept into the room. A blood pressure cuff tightened around my arm, monitors beeped, a flashlight traced my pupils. She's in distress, one paramedic said. Possible cardiac involvement. My vision blurred again. Someone lifted me onto a stretcher. The ceiling lights streaked past. Through it all, Dr. Hale was still on the phone, his voice soft in my ear until a paramedic gently took it from my hand. We've got her, doctor. He answered, I'll meet her at the hospital. Hours later, I woke in a hospital bed. The room smelled like disinfectant, warm blankets, and the faint metallic scent of saline. A heart monitor beeped steadily beside me. Dr. Hale stood at the foot of the bed, arms folded, not angry but resolute. You did the right thing calling me, he said. You had cardiac inflammation. Untreated, it could have been catastrophic. My throat tightened. She said I was overreacting. He shook his head. She ignored a medical emergency. And that's something I won't let slide. I swallowed hard. She won't care. No, he said softly. But someone else will. He placed a folder on the table beside me. What's that? I whispered. Everything you found behind that locked door, he said. Plus everything I've documented, over the years. My breath caught. Years. Plural. He'd been watching the pattern long before I noticed it. And all of it, every note, every document, every warning, was going to be read aloud at the will reading. Where the truth would finally walk into the room. And destroy the lies my family built a home out of. The day of the will reading arrived with an overcast sky, thick clouds moving slowly, like the world was hesitating to let the truth come out too quickly. The municipal building was colder than I expected. The old radiator in the hallway clicked and hissed, filling the silence with restless metal breaths. My footsteps echoed as I walked toward the conference room, each one a reminder that my chest still ached, though the sharpness was fading. Inside, my mother sat stiffly at the table, purse clutched tightly in her lap. My aunt whispered something into her ear. My cousin Clara sat on the far side, legs crossed, jaw tight, her foot bouncing under the table in nervous little jabs. When she saw me walk in with Dr. Hale at my side, her bouncing foot stopped. My mother narrowed her eyes. You look fine to me. Dr. Hale ignored her. He pulled a chair out for me and I sank into it slowly, pressing my palm against my ribs as a quiet reminder of why I was here. The lawyer cleared his throat and shuffled some papers. Before we begin the reading of Mr. Alden's will, I was informed that a medical witness requested to present evidence first. My mother exhaled dramatically. This is unnecessary. She's always making things bigger than they are. Dr. Hale stepped forward, setting a folder on the table with deliberate calm. It's necessary, he said. And overdue. The room stilled. He opened the folder. These are records of Lena's cardiac distress 2 nights ago. She reported chest pain, radiating symptoms, difficulty breathing. These symptoms can indicate myocarditis, pericardial involvement, or early cardiac failure. My mother rolled her eyes. She had anxiety. No. Dr. Hale's voice sharpened, not loud but unyielding. She had measurable inflammation. Blood tests confirmed it. And delaying treatment could have killed her. Clara shifted in her chair, shoulders tensing. Dr. Hale lifted a second sheet of paper. These are Lena's heart rate and oxygen saturation levels when the ambulance arrived. Critically low. She collapsed shortly after her cousin refused to call 911. My mother's gaze snapped toward Clara. What is he talking about? Clara's voice came out too fast. She was fine. She always exaggerates. I just told her to calm down. Dr. Hale didn't blink. Chest pain in someone with her history is not exaggeration. It is a medical emergency. My mother scoffed. History. He opened the next tab in the folder. Yes, he said quietly. History. He slid a stack of documents toward the lawyer, who frowned as he skimmed them. These are notes from past ER visits, Dr. Hale continued. Instances where Lena collapsed or fainted or reported severe pain, and her family dismissed her symptoms. My stomach twisted. The room felt smaller. I could smell the faint scent of old carpet under the table, the same kind you find in buildings that hold too many secrets. Dr. Hale continued, voice steady but heavy. In 2 separate incidents during childhood, hospital staff documented that a guardian refused timely care. My mother's face drained of color. That's ridiculous, she whispered. I never. He cut her off. You once told staff she was dramatic. Another time you said she just wanted attention. Those statements are in writing. The lawyer quietly handed my mother the documents. Her hands shook. But he wasn't finished. He turned to Clara. And 3 nights ago. He lifted his phone. One of the hidden cameras in the hallway recorded something else. Clara's breath hitched. My mother looked between them, confused and frightened. What camera? Dr. Hale gestured toward the wall-mounted TV screen. Play the file. The screen flickered, then brightened. A timestamp appeared. And there it was. Clara walking into my room, opening the drawer, taking the pain medication bottle, slipping it into her pocket. My mother gasped. My aunt's hand flew to her mouth. The room filled with a sound like the air itself had recoiled. Clara whispered, shattered. No, that's... The video continued. Me clutching my chest, struggling to breathe. Clara rolling her eyes. Her voice carrying out into the hallway as she snapped. I'm not calling 911 for your overreacting. And me collapsing forward, trembling. My mother stood abruptly. Turn it off. No one moved. Turn it off right now, she screamed again, voice cracking at the edges. But the video had already told the truth. She sank back into her chair, stunned, unable to take her eyes off the frozen frame on the screen, her niece stealing life-saving medication while her daughter struggled for breath. Claire was shaking. Tears slid down her cheeks. I didn't want her to die. I just didn't want her to go to the reading. Grandpa, he always favored her. I thought if she didn't show up. Her voice broke. Everything broke. The lawyer inhaled slowly, then lifted the final envelope, the one containing my grandfather's will. Mr. Alden made specific contingency clauses, he said carefully. He considered Lena's history. He anticipated attempts to exclude her. My mother swallowed hard. What does that mean? It means, the lawyer said, opening the envelope, that in the event Lena is deliberately prevented from attending the will reading, through coercion, neglect, or interference, the entire estate transfers directly to her. Clara let out a strangled gasp. My mother shook her head violently. No. This can't be legal. It's binding, the lawyer said gently. He signed these clauses with full clarity. My hands trembled in my lap. The room felt both quiet and unbearably loud. I could hear the hum of the overhead lights, the faint wheeze of the radiator, the pounding of my own heart. Clara buried her face in her hands and sobbed. My mother stared at the table, silent, unreadable. Dr. Hale placed a hand on the back of my chair. You didn't ask for this, Lena, he said softly. But you deserved protection. And your grandfather ensured you would have it. The lawyer folded the papers neatly. The estate, home, assets, accounts, belongs to Lena Avery. My breath caught. Not because of money. Not because of inheritance. Because for the first time, someone in my family had believed me long before I knew how to believe myself. I stood slowly, legs shaky but stronger than they were in that living room 2 nights ago. Dr. Hale steadied me with a gentle touch. My mother finally spoke, voice small. You're really leaving us behind? I looked at her, a woman who taught me to ignore my own pain, and felt something shift inside me like a door unlocking after years of being sealed. I'm not leaving you, I said quietly. I'm choosing me. Outside, cold air brushed my face. Clouds were breaking apart, letting thin rays of light through. The world felt wider, safer. If you've lived anything like this, tell your story, and don't forget to subscribe. Some truths fracture families. Some truths free the ones who were never protected. And some truths sound like breathing deeply for the first time. Sometimes survival is saying enough.